Perdón, hemos vuelto otra vez. Y este señor...
God be with you.
Este es el escriba.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a priest or clerk. But why not? I've taught all sorts. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few groschen for my trouble.
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get started. The sooner I master it,
A ver
the
cuánto
better.
dinero me pide.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though.
Mira,
And
es la
set
misión.
aside at least a couple of days so I can put you through your paces. If indeed time is of the essence.
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart.
Estamos aprendiendo a leer.
Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
¿Y ahora qué tengo que hacer? Vamos a ver qué me manda a hacer. No, pues ya estoy aquí, ¿eh? Que ya noche. Así A ver, se muere el día, tío. Mira caballo, qué chulo lo tengo, ¿eh? Bueno, es que el caballo lo he, ¿cómo se dice? Lo he tunizado. No es que lo había puesto ahí unos faldones. Bueno, vamos a ver. Que tenía que ver al escriba. Y el escriba... ¿Dónde andará? Espera, tú. Shh.
Good day to you.
Mira.
Good luck to you.
Un poco de agua, necesita un poco de agua. Tanto leer, oye... Bueno, vamos a ver, el escriba. Espera, vamos a mirar primero una cosa. Todos los activo. Es que quiero fijarme nada más en aquí el señor escriba. Y esto no me abre la puerta, debe ser esta, ¿no? Aquí. Es que voy a ponerme la... Sí, me la voy a poner. Vamos a ver, porque vamos. Tengo que arreglar ahí Armas. Antorcha. Aquí no es. No.
Go away. Leave me alone.
Este es como en Skyrim, que se levanta antes, dice que los cojones. Bueno, vamos a echar aquí. Yo no puedo echar ninguna clase de comida que solo esto. Yo no puedo pedir, no sé. Bueno, dicen volver donde le escriba. ¿Tú tienes piso arriba? Ok. ¿Yo? No sé. Pues aquí le escriba no está. Y se está haciendo de noche. Bueno, pues se lo escriba. Ya volveré otro día. Y porque parece ser que el tío se ha pirado por ahí. No sé yo. Oh, y ostras, ahora tenía por de noche. Perdón. Tengo que hacer otra cosa ahora por la noche. Joder, macho. Perdón. Ostras. No vamos a poner nada, bueno, es igual. Vamos a poner ahí. Bueno, vale. Ahora vamos a ir a... que hemos quedado con... aquí... aquí tenemos que ir ahora. Tendré que subir los niveles por ahí, digo yo que... Bueno, este es el bar, ¿no?
One ale over here, please.
God be with you, good sir. God be with you.
Joder, quedamos por la noche. ¿Dónde está el padre?
All right.
God be with you.
Espera un momentito, vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Me recuerda cuando iba a tomar las castañas que pillaba yo de chaval joven. Este que me dice. ¿Y si sabes
Jesus
inglés?
Christ be praised.
Nada,
God
venga.
be with you.
Bueno, vamos aquí al bar. Me sentaré aquí y esperaré.
The service is a bit slow here today.
¿Qué vamos a entrar al bar? Vamos a entrar al bar, a ver, yo qué sé. Es que aquí el bar casi lo de fuera más que lo de adentro, pero en fin. Ah, mira, está aquí. Mi padre, sí. Vamos a sentarnos.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
I'll have a beer.
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
You think I'm too young for the job, Father?
I do, to tell the truth.
Well, I can only apologise for my lack of grey hair and gout.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Neuhof? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claim. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
I noticed there's a woman living with you at the presbytery.
What of it? Have you never met a cleric who lives with a woman before? Mother Church won't let me take her to wife. Too afraid it might lose its property to any heirs she bore me. But she cooks and cleans, and, well, as a man I have my needs.
I'm not sure the parish priest at St. James would agree with you.
I heard he was a bit odd.
I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujic is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive fur. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundation.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
co mi d'amor lat. To neustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panu dziesnej smutek, do mnie i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstrat, do wczorajszym staje brak. Už se jí bojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich muži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Buďme se vámi, ano ráda s vámi a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako kozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den, tak nalej mi hned, až točí se svět.
Enough of this! Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Yo estoy ganando el pecador. Uy, ¿qué pasa aquí? Que pero sí que me está pegando ahora. No tengo energía. Cuidado que me meten, Espera, vamos a hacer una cosa. No, es que me está saliendo mal. Tengo ganas de que se me curten. Entre la borrachera que llevaba, que no se ve ni... Vaya. Menuda castaña que tiene.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry. Stop that nonsense, darling. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Got him on you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
vaya, vaya, vaya.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Hombre. Se había cogido yo gasas, tío. De vendaje. Vamos, vamos. Anda, que voy apañado.
All right. Suit yourself, but don't expect any help from me.
¿Pero qué pasa? Si va con él.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hoc facite in meam commemoration.
No sé qué hice yo mal, me cago en la mar. Pero bueno. ¿Verdad que? Vamos a ver. Mate a buscarme. No sé qué le pasa a esto. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver. Esta es la misión que estamos en el network. Es 23, 3 horas. Bueno. Y nos vamos a ir. Chaito.